On January 6, a 36-year-old bull killer whale named Tilikum died in Florida, surrounded by trainers, care staff, and veterinarians, according to the solemn, obituary-style announcement published by his owner. Tilikum was a celebrity, a star performer among the orca, as killer whales are known, at Orlando's famous SeaWorld theme park. He was also the world-renowned subject of an award-winning documentary, Blackfish, that has been credited with the dramatic decline in the fortune of such venues. The film, which has been seen worldwide, showed the orca to be a highly intelligent and emotionally sensitive creature, condemned to a desperate existence in captivity with ultimately far-reaching tragic consequences. For Tilikum was also a real killer, implicated in the vicious deaths of 3 individuals. Orca are one of the most intelligent and longest-living species on Earth. They are highly social, sentient mammals, capable of complex communication, and they appear to experience all the emotions we humans do, including grief. Orca society is entirely matriarchal, and females can live to 100 years of age. They are also extremely adept predators. Tilikum was caught off Iceland, in 1983 when he was only 2 years old. Initially, he was kept in a tank in Reykjavik, where, having had the freedom of the ocean all his short life, he was reduced to swimming in circles like a goldfish, or he would lie still at the surface of his tank listening for his family pod. In 1984, Tilikum was taken to Sealand on Vancouver Island, Canada, along with 2 female orca. Tilikum, however, was bullied violently by the females he shared a pool with. They saw him as a threat. On February 20, 1991, one of Sealand's trainers, Kelty Byrne, a 20-year-old marine biology student, fell into the pool. The 3 orca dragged her around and prevented her from surfacing. Tilikum's role in her drowning didn't prevent him from being sold on to SeaWorld in Orlando the following year. 8 years later, on July 7, 1999, a young man named Daniel Dukes broke into the park and into the orca tank. His body was found the next morning, draped over Tilikum's back. The autopsy indicated that he had drowned, but his genitals had also been bitten off. Then, on February 24, 2010, Tilikum's highly experienced trainer, Don Brancho, a 40-year-old who had worked at SeaWorld for 15 years, was addressing the audience during a live show. Suddenly, the orca loomed out of the water and grabbed her by her ponytail, dragging her to the bottom of the pool. As horrified families were hurried away, desperate attempts were made to save Brancho. But she had drowned and had been scalped in the process. And yet, despite these deaths, a year later, Tilikum, now, at more than 22 feet and weighing more than 6 tons, the largest captive orca on record, returned to performing, albeit with some precautions. Trainers no longer swam with orca, and were told to stay at least 1/8 in away from them at all times. For the last 5 years of his life, Tilikum had been in poor health with a lung infection that proved resistant to treatment. When he finally succumbed earlier this month, his death reignited the debate about how we treat such creatures. We may call them killer whales, but there is not a single record of an orca killing a human being in the wild. Yet in captivity, often in solitary confinement, Tilikum had been driven, it seems, psychotic by the conditions in which he had been kept.